Hello friends, and welcome to the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and as all of you know, or as those of you watching know, I have spent the last few days in Sactown, California, the big tomato, the city of trees, and it is a beautiful, beautiful place, but I didn't come here just to smell the flowers, or to learn more about the 100-year-long ice cream war that has apparently ravaged the countryside. Very, very sad, very, very difficult to see. But, or to even meet celebrities. Ran into the governor today. Wonderful, wonderful man. And, really kind of quiet. Didn't say a whole lot, but a lot of fun. Now, I spent the last few days with my fellow game changers, with the developers of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, and it has been enlightening to say the least. There are three major takeaways, actually four major takeaways, that I leave this trip with, and I'd like to share them with you. Today I do not or will not be expelling or talking about what is to come. The only thing that I will say on that regard is be excited, because it is going to be awesome. I'm very, very stoked. I can't say anything more, but videos will come out in the next couple of days, and more videos will be coming out in the next couple of weeks that will depict what this will look like, what this new information will look like, and I'm very excited about. But there are three things I want to talk about, guys, and that is external resources, mods, specifically how we use them in the game, and the devs themselves. And the first thing that I'd like to talk about is, like I said, the external resources. There's a lot of websites out there that give information about how to do specific things. They give tips and advice, and some of those things are good, and some of those things are great. I spent the week with one of the game changers who runs the site gamingfans.com. LL Cool 110 is, or LJ Cool 110 is the man behind that, and he is a game changer himself, and he's been running the site for a couple of years. And what's been most exciting to learn about how he develops his work, how he puts together the information that he does, is to see the passion behind it and the research that goes into this. I spent a great amount of time on his site, and there's a few things that all players need to look at. If you are a new player, it walks you through how best to quickly rank your characters and quickly develop your account, right? It goes through which tunes you need to farm to begin with, and then which tunes you need to kind of wait off a little bit on. It tells you how to manage your resources effectively. But what I want to focus on is his mod guides. Now, he and his team, because he has a team of writers, have really been intricate and have really developed a solid guide to walk you through each individual character. It doesn't just say what mods you need and what stats you should have on them, but it explains as why you need those things. It walks you through this is why you need them, and this is what they will do when you have these types of mods on. Now, this isn't just him, blowing smoke. It's not him spitballing and randomly saying, oh yeah, throw on some critical chance or some critical stuff. Put on speed. Everyone knows that you need speed. That makes sense, right? But what else do you need? What else do these characters need? Sitting down and speaking with him, I was able to really open my mind up as to the fact that I need to drastically revamp how have managed my own personal account, because there's a lot that goes into these modifiers that goes into these characters and these kits that players simply just don't take advantage of. Now, that conversation leads directly into my next one, and that is mods. Guys, we are not using mods as effectively as we possibly can. And maybe you are, maybe you're not, maybe you're like me, and then if you're like me, you're not, right? You put on crit damage, you put on speed, but that's not enough. What else is going into those mods with those specific characters? Speed is super important. What other areas are you putting your mods in? What other secondary abilities are you focusing your mods on? That is very, very important. And speaking with the game developers, speaking with these other game changers, it has enlightened me. It has opened my mind that uh, there's more to this game than Arena. Now, Arena is a major focus. Arena is a major part of the game, and I will not. I mean, it's obviously is, right? You have to play in the Arena to get crystals, to do all the other areas of the game. It's super important, probably the most vital aspect of the game. Second, maybe territory wars, and then down the line, galactic war. One of the questions that kept coming up in the questionnaire that I sent out a couple of days ago was, why is this character useful? What is the purpose behind this character? And we focus so heavily on Arena that we often overlook the other areas of the game. Now, if we know, I mean, we've been told from day one that territory battles and territory wars will continue. That these aren't the only iterations of these types of events that we're going to get. And that's not just like game changer insight. That's from day one, that's what they've said. That this is the first territory battle. This is the first territory war. It shouldn't have come to us as a shock that dark side territory battles were coming, right? We will probably have different maps that we'll face on territory wars. I mean, for territory wars, it's just kind of like a scene change. That's fine. But territory battles, I mean, territory light side, territory battles light side, territory battles dark side. There will be other events that will go up. Of course, that just makes sense, right? New iterations, new things. Will we see a crate? Will we see a battle of Geonosis? I don't know, but possibly. We possibly could see those things. And that leads me to the idea that we have these deep rosters for a reason. And we have mods for a reason. And the reason I bring that up is I think that there's probably some hidden gems somewhere in our ranks that we are just not seeing, that we are just not developing effectively. Now, I have learned a lot this week about the kits, about the characters, about the tunes. I've spoken with developers both who balance the game and who develop the characters, and it is fascinating. That leads me to my third point, and that is the people who run this game are players themselves. They love this game. Going to EA or going to Capital Games was awesome. So the best way that I can imagine it, the best way that I can describe it is, imagine a frat house. Your stereotypical frat house that you see in every college movie ever. Then imagine that frat house is run by Star Wars nerds who love gaming. Then imagine that frat house is the coolest frat house on the campus, and everyone wants to go there, and everyone wants to go and to visit their parties, and they are just super passionate, and they party all the damn time. And when I mean party, I don't actually mean like, oh, they're drinking and boozing it up, although I don't know, they might be. But what they're doing is they're passionate about something, and they channeled that passion into this game. These are people who love Star Wars. These are people who come from different walks of life, who are passionate about this. And the coolest thing that I took away from this is they're fans too. They play the game too. And their favorite characters aren't always actually, not one of them was like, oh, my favorite character is Rey Jedi Training. She's powerful. Yeah, of course she's powerful. My favorite character is not, CLS. My favorite character is Vader, or my favorite character is the Night Sisters, or my favorite character is something else. And it was because of the mechanics in the game. It was because of the lore behind the character. Their favorite characters in Star Wars were not like these main characters. They love the comics. They love the video games. They love Star Wars. And that makes me excited. That gives me hope that this game is handled by people who know what they're talking about. I have to say, there's so much that was just exciting about this trip. Not only meeting my fellow game changers, because this was my first outing, and it was awesome. It was I it was a great experience. I loved every minute of it. It was not just meeting Cozy Spoon or EA Jesse or my handler, uh, GC Swag or Gauze or whatever. It was meeting the people who love what they do. Guys, the coolest thing outside of the holo table, outside of the artwork, outside of everything, the coolest thing about this entire trip was seeing the passion in their eyes. Seeing these guys and girls, these ladies and gentlemen, staying late, staying to the wee hours of the morning, talking shop, talking about what's to come, talking about how they can tweak one little thing to make it better, how they can evaluate something to make this new character, that new character, or this game mode or that game mode new and fun, and how they can make players love it. They're going to make mistakes, and there's going to be bugs in the system. That's just the nature of it. It happens. But these are people who are trying to put up the best game they possibly can. And that was reassuring. This is not a 9-to-5 job for them. This is life. And it was so cool to see that. So cool to see that. I am hopeful about the coming weeks. I am hopeful for the coming months. I am excited to see what 2018 brings. I am excited to see what 2019 brings. And I'm excited to see where this goes years after that. What are you excited for? I have to ask and I have to say thank you to those who let me come out here. Super fun. I will say that for those of you who submitted questions for the questionnaire, I have gotten many answers to those questions. Most of them, when it comes to the characters, are we getting this character? Are we getting that character? A lot of the answers were, we'll see. Some of the stuff they just couldn't tell me, because part of it I don't want to know, because if they tell me now, then I lose my excitement, right? Some of the answers were, yeah, we thought about that, and we're working on a way to get it. Some of the answers were, we're doing our best, right? A lot of, especially when it comes to character development, guys, these people have thought about it. These people have really just dived in, have just jumped into the deep end. There's a lot of stuff in the works, and I'm excited to see what is coming out. What are you excited for? As I said earlier, this video is not meant to deliver the newest stuff. If you stayed to this point, then and we're waiting for that, I do apologize. But guys, I could not be more happy with the direction that this game is going. Leave a comment in the section below. Like, subscribe, share. This has been Thaddeus from Going Nerdy. And as always, my friends, stay nerdy.